His brother was silver, his mother was gold. I asked him to come on out of the cold. His brain was boiling, his reason was spent. His bar, nothing is left. He asked me for mercy, I gave him a gun.
How's everybody doing? Ooh, this is funky looking over here because of the new layout. But that should be fine. Let's... I gotta adjust two things. Well, I'm gonna move this further back because I just had a good idea based on the camera. So we got a green screen for the unobservant viewer, or for those who wondered where my magic powers came from. We got ourselves a green screen, and we got ourselves a little friend here, which I'll pop up. We have some new, channel redemption things going on. Just trying to improve everything. I'm gonna lower the music a tiny bit. So, tell me if that's the right volume. I don't know. I just kind of eyeball that stuff. So anyway, I have band practice tonight. We're going to try and get one league in before that. I'm thinking I'm going to go with this list. Couple new things in this list. Number one, it's got 14 sideboard cards, so we have to... I think this is what we're going to go with for now. Could be a Fatal Push, could be a Relic. I don't really know. I think Relic is probably the safer option right now. This list, I made some small adjustments to the mana base. I cut one... There's a lot of burn running around, and our mana base is very painful. So we're going to... gonna run it like this for a little bit. What I did was I cut one fetch land and added another Copperline Gorge. So what that does is it gives us 13 black sources for turn 1 Fatal Push or Thoughtseize if we were to move that into our board instead. It gives us 13 green sources for Hierarch specifically, because we have these six fetch lands that all get Stomping Ground for 7, 8, 9 from Copperline Gorge, and then 4 more from Cavern of Souls. So 13 is the correct number to play turn 1 Birds of Paradise, just classically. That is what it is. We don't have the same thing for Grist. Grist is slightly harder to cast because Cavern of Souls usually will not cast it, but we're hoping that that's not an issue. Things we're keeping an eye out for today. How bad is Aether Vial? Does it win us games? Does it lose us games? Because it gets interacted with, and that could have been a Thoughtseize or an Inquisition of Kozilek. Those are the front runners. Like three discard spells and a Tarfire are what I would take out, or what I would add in if I were to take out Aether Vials, and then maybe, you know, maybe one of those ends up being another Grist or something like that. But that's what's on our mind today. So sideboard is a little wonky. I can't remember why I added in this Trashmaster. I think it's because we got Torpor Orbed the other day. And like, we have the Crater Maker, but it's good to also have, like, you know, just a second one, and people really seem to love this Trashmaster. It's always bad for me, but that's a different story. So 2 things we're gonna do before we get started. Number 1, I'm gonna fix this card preview window is just slightly too far to the left. There's like a pixel going on there. See if I fix that. Looks like it. And then I actually don't know if I have enough tickets to get into this thing, so I might have to. Nope, we got the play points. So we're continuing with our exploration of the new meta, the new era. We're gonna get it going. Modern League. Join a new era. 100 play points. Let's go. The new layout looks a little bit wonky while we're in this window, which is something to be aware of. But once we get into a match, it's gonna see why it makes sense, why this big black thing is there, even when there's no chat. It won't look so bad, because obviously that's where the MTGO chat goes. So, just kind of hanging out, chilling. Fortunately, it's not so hot today that I need my air conditioner on, because I left my headphones. We're just gonna actually search. Because I left my headphones at my brother's place. And the air conditioning noise drives me insane. It's like this sort of thing that you don't realize that you haven't formed a complete thought till hours later, when you're just like, why am I so uncomfortable? Why can't I think straight? So it makes it much harder to play Magic for sure. Kind of excited for the winter for that reason, and it feels bad to say. At least the cooler weather. You know, just fall will be enough. Because winter has its own problems. But fall, the Northeast where we are, however long that lasts, a week, 2, it's obviously the best part. So it's been a little bit since I've posted any videos or streams, just because I was like on vacation. It was Labor Day. Like I mentioned, I haven't seen how the meta has developed, but it's also the sort of thing where, like, a lot of people were probably, you know, not playing because of the same thing. Lameo Mobile. 1-1. Alright. This hand is kind of due to garbage, but I mean, you do get to do the turn 3 Ringleader. You have to fetch a... You don't actually, because the Noble Hierarch can come in off of the Violin too. They haven't revealed anything. I think this hand is kind of just bad against a lot of decks. Although Aether Vial is one of our strongest cards. This'll be a test. This will be a test of how good not just Aether Vial, but Noble Hierarch is without the 3 drops. Because I know You know, I usually discount it. I usually discount it because I have an opinion already. You know, that you just want to be able to take advantage of this immediately, so you want to be able to play 3-drops ASAP. But, you know, a ringleader finding you a ton of goblins, nah, like, this is the actual worst case scenario for this hand. Unless we get a, unless we get something like a sling gang off the top, this is pretty bad. Okay, Harbinger not the worst. I'm just gonna play... We want to get our lands into play as painlessly as possible. There's no reason to reveal anything off of this Auntie's Hovel. There's no reason to even play this fetch land. We're going to violin, flash in this Hierarch, the end of turn. I was just saying this looks really bad. This Eidolon with our Vial, it's actually pretty good for us. Like, our hand lines up decently well against what they have going on here. As long as we can remove this Monastery Swiftspear, which, like, there's a lot of ways that we get to do that this turn. Finding Munitions Expert is obviously a big one. I'm just going to play this first, because Swamp might make it difficult to cast some things. We're not going to assert dominance by making blue mana because we actually don't feel like we're in a dominant position. But that was a really good get. So because we don't have because we have this Aether Vial and we don't really care about the Eidolon too much, we're gonna kill the Swiftspear while they're tapped out and they can't save it. The Eidolon doesn't have to hit us for 2 here. I can actually chump, which I'm probably gonna do, and their Eidolon will hurt them. All right, so they get our Hierarch. They don't care if we chump. They just wanna bottleneck our mana a little bit. I think I'm gonna chump. If I chump, and then next turn I play Matron, I take 2 off that, right? Yeah, so I play Matron, and then Violin Munitions Expert, or I could just tick it up. I think I'm supposed to tick it up so that I can, like, just cast the Munitions Expert. I think that makes sense. But with them having mana open, I think I can afford to take 2 here. This is a tough call, because usually against burn, you're just like, you know, trying to save your life total as much as possible. Okay. Wow. Eidolon, that's a big one. Filing in this Mog War Marshal is looking pretty juicy as well. Just because... Oh, let's just tick it up. We tick up this. Oh, Grist. Grist is very cool. Let's see if they block. Because they took a lot of damage, and we're not necessarily going to take any. Okay, so they do block, which makes casting a Munitions Expert more reasonable because they only have 3 cards in hand. So assuming that they're all bolts on average, it's 9 damage. We're at a healthy life total. Which means I'm gonna play the Swamp. Do I want to Violin Grist now? Grist just, like, sort of takes over the game. I guess options are more important. So I think let's just play... We'll take 2. This puts us to a virtual 5 if all the cards in hand are bolts. which is a virtual 3, actually, which is actually super dangerous. Oh, this might have been a mistake. This might have been a mistake, but I am planning on filing in either Harbinger or Matron. Harbinger might be the call here because it blocks this. Just as a... Okay, they're not even attacking. So that's something. They exiled 2 Rift Bolts, and they have 1 card left in hand. They played a land this turn, so it doesn't... We don't really know if this is a land or not. What do I want to do here? Considering that that's 2 Rift Bolts, I think what we're going to do... Grist won't do anything once we kill this Eidolon. So let's use Aether Vial's ability, put Matron into play. We're going to Vial in... We're going to grab Sling Gang, which they'll point a Rift Bolt at. Do we pay Echo? No, we don't pay Echo. Because it doesn't actually matter. I'm going to sack the token without haste to Grist. Oh, I wasn't supposed to... Oh, man. I wasn't supposed to hit yes there. Okay, we're going to take an extra 2 damage, which might be super relevant in a second. Oh, well. It is what it is. How's it going, Kalante? Good to see you. I need to make green mana, and I can't. So that was a big, big deal. So this Grist is not coming into play anytime soon. That's fine. It's just... Wow. Because we're gonna fetch a... They're gonna take 2 for every single Rift Bolt they cast. Right? So... We might just kill them, because they can't not cast Rift Bolt. So I guess passing the turn is fine here. I'm green screened like a professional, although this shit... How do I fix that? It's white. It's like clearly not green, but it happens still. Is that because my hand was there? Or it just stopped? It comes and goes. So... Oh, I wish we were playing like a professional and not just green screened like one. So what's going to happen here is their 2 Rift Bolts are going to come off of Suspend. And they're going to cast them because they have to. And they're going to take 4 damage down to 9. They're going to target, I assume, my face. Yup, and that's fine. They're going to be at 9, and we're going to have 7 Goblins in play. And they're going to have a hard time beating not just the life we gain, but our attack. 2 cards left in hand. Lava Spike brings them to 7, so they are actually dead. If they don't have a removal spell, they should definitely attack here. Because... I don't know, I just don't see a reason for them not to attack. They are deterministically dead if these resolve. Because they're not gaining any life, right? I guess they could theoretically gain life, so we'll just continue passing the turn and go to attack them. Hit no on the Vial trigger. I was definitely supposed to fetch a green source last turn. But we had them deterministically dead, so it didn't matter. No, I should have pretended it mattered. We won't pull that back. They're just dead here. Because me gaining any amount of life, them taking any amount of damage, not good news. Alright. Dead, sir. Madam. LeMayo Mobile. Alright. I'm glad that we just beat burn after making some of the adjustments I made, because I did make some of the adjustments because I felt our burn matchup was a lot worse than it used to be. I've been talking about it on the Discord if you're over there. You know, going Jund makes our mana a lot more painful. There's shock lands and fetches now. We used to just run 4 fetches and the 2 blood crypts, which you basically never had to shock in. But the wooded foothills and the stomping ground often have to be shocked in because of Hierarch. So having the 2 Copperline Gorges kind of makes that a little easier on our life total. Anyway, against Burn, their best draws are all creature-based. So Fatal Pushes definitely come in. Tarfire, maybe not. It's a question as to whether or not you want Crime Punishment based on their build. Like, they are probably playing Goblin Guides. Some of them also play DRC, but we didn't see a draw like that. I think as a hedge, it might be fine to, like, bring 1 in and then just take out 2 Harbingers and maybe a Vial, because they'll probably bring in Smash to Smithereens, and Vials get worse anyway. It was decent that game because it helped us avoid damage from their Eidolon or their Great Revel, but this Tarfire should actually probably be in as well. And Realmwalker is kind of just like a worse Snoop. Maybe I can cut that and not miss it too much. Although 2/3 is a decent blocker. So maybe we could cut another Harbinger, but you get to put Sling Gangs on top with it, and that kind of just ends the game sometimes. So could cut a land on the draw. I know people do that. Let's cut another Vial. Because I do expect Smash to Smithereens. And they, Eidolon hands are not everything. Well, that's some hand. I guess this is keepable. We'll throw back an we'll throw back a Bloodstained Mire. Yeah. I mean, this doesn't have any of our sideboard cards, but on the off chance that they're on all Lava Spikes for whatever reason, maybe we actually just draw the combo, but that's not really where you want to be. More likely, I expect them... Ooh, I was going to say more likely I expect them to start pointing removal spells at my Hierarchs. Do I want to play Hierarch this turn, or do I want to play Vial? Because they could smash on 2, and if... That's just really good for them, but I also want to just get this ticking up ASAP. So let's do that. We may still play Snoop and just Vial in a Hierarch, as opposed to play Hierarch and try to bait out bolts. Yeah, there's the smash. So, like, the thing about Smash, if I had boarded out all my Vials, it's like, that just has no targets, right? And it's dead in their hand. But we didn't make that play. So I can only play 1 Hierarch a turn. I am probably not attacking or blocking with Snoop, right? Not that they would let me. But the fact that I can only play 1 Hierarch a turn makes me want to get it out here. Because I think we're kind of really far behind this game, and the draws that get us even or ahead are going to cost a lot of mana. Which was why we played that Vial in the first place. Wow, we're just like walking into everything. I mean, they would have had it either way, I guess. So, like, it didn't really matter what order we played it in. But this is like a nut draw from Burn. And we didn't want them all to 5. And we drew bad. Let's see what's on top. There could be another Hierarch on top. So you play Snoop first. The Tarfire on top. That's good news. They have 2 cards in hand, so we're likely not getting out of this alive, but we'll see. Lightning Helix. Oh my god. Rift Bolt. Can I gain life before next turn? Sweat the top of the deck. Sling Gang Lieutenant. Okay. I can still play Sling Gang Lieutenant if it's underneath this guy. Have to use the Snoop mana. Alright, we are dead. Rift Bolt gets there. Could just board out all the vials. Like, their nut draws are just gonna kill us so fast, right? Bring in a card to block. And, this Crime Punishment didn't seem great, considering they were on Lightning Helix and not more 1-drops was in their flex slots. They didn't reveal Lurrus, right? So, yeah, so Crime Punishment is also not that great. We don't have any good cards left, except Harbinger, which finds a Sling Gang Lieutenant, so we'll go with that. We won the die roll. Would we like to play first? Yes, I think we would. And this is a pretty solid hand. It's unfortunate because if I play this Hierarch on turn 1, I do have to shock it in. But I could also just play Wooded Foothills and get like a Stomping Ground tapped and then play Skirk plus Hierarch next turn. I'm going to do that. Although it kind of plays into Searing Blood a tiny bit. But we're going to hope that they're not on that. Okay. We don't have a good hand against Goblin Guide. We'll see if we... Goblin Matron? Well, I should have done this before, I think, is the actual math that you're supposed to do. I remember Caleb D talking about it once. Mexican girl. So I could play Snoop here to block, but I think with Grist in our hand now, it's better to play the 2 1-drops. Because we can sack one of the 1-drops to actually kill this Goblin Guide. Do they have a second land? They do. They didn't keep the greediest hand in the world. I believe Searing Blood is countered by sacking the Goblin in response. So we may have slightly played around that. Wow. Just one bit away from Grist. I think I have to take 2. I think I have to take 2. So a lot of the math that you have to do against Burn is average damage per card type math. And Goblin Guide, as long as it doesn't deal you like 6 damage, you can still get out of it. So he knows I'm drawing a Grist. Oh, I have to make black and green mana. My other option here is playing Sling Gang Lieutenant. And we're doing this because before damage for 2 reasons. One, I've made the mistake, like they could have answered at any point, but I've made the mistake of going to combat and then they realize that they have a lightning bolt. So I just don't want to get greedy. If we lose by 1 point of damage, not dealing them 1 point of damage, like, okay, I messed up. They're gonna kill my Grist here? Boiling Vortex. So that's gonna take us out decently quick, and we're not gonna be able to gain life as long as they have red mana up. They are going to kill our Grist. I think that I'm just going to play Grist and plus it, barring anything else. And yes, that is our answer here. Next turn, so we'll chump here if we're able. And then next turn, we'll play Sling Gang and sack something to kill this Swift Spear. They seem like they've gotten a lot of lands. And they just drew this Swift Spear this turn. So, looks like their hand is full of junk. They just drew 2 Swift Spears. So Grist is going to go to 2, which sucks because that means when I sack something, it's going to die. But we have gained a bunch of life just by having this Grist. And we do have to chump because it puts our Grist at 2. Can't play Harbinger. Can't play Sling Gang. I guess we could play Harbinger. It doesn't feel good. Maybe we find like a Hierarch on top, Matron on top. Do I keep chumping or do I actually kill one of these Swift Spears? Any spell kills me at this point. Not having a land sucks. I don't really want to draw a Matron, do I? Well, I didn't want to draw a Matron, but I'm going to draw a Matron. That's a cool thing about Grist. Maybe it's unclear on the screen, but its +1 ability. It mills a card to make that insect. And so you can sort of manipulate the top of your deck with Snoop and play. We were looking for a land. We didn't get there. They're killing my insect token because I guess they didn't have a land drop. Which means it's only going to do 1 to Grist. Which means it will die. They should just swing at it with 2 and then a 3rd at my face. Yeah. So Grist is dead no matter what. The question is if I want to chump this. Oh man, this is really bad. I think we lose actually. Yeah. Unless I can put something on top with Harbinger. Oh, if they just like don't have a lightning bolt, I win. So we'll just not block here. Like, it's not likely that this gets us there, but I don't know. Maybe this is, you know, maybe they just have a shit hand. So we'll try it because I think that's our only way to win at this point. And they're hyper F6, so add it. What do you got, opponent? Nothing? Wow, what an unlikely way to beat Burn. What an unlikely way to beat Burn. Had they saved that Searing Blaze, you know, we couldn't do this, but our Grist would survive. And this is part of the power of not just having an infinite combo in your deck, but of presenting threats that are so powerful that they must be dealt with, or they take over the game. So even though Grist isn't a goblin, you know, you play it and oh wait, I can't actually kill them because I have both Sling Gang Lieutenants in hand. What can I do here? I don't have Pashlik Mons in the deck, right? We got to pull up the deck list. Both Sling Gang Lieutenants are in hand. So once I have infinite goblins, I can put Kirk Prospector on top and make a bunch of mana. But I only have red mana. So am I just supposed to do the try to untap thing and hope they don't have it? I guess so. Oh, I just realized that. Okay. Like, you can play Kiki off the top, but I don't have any way to get black mana unless I get... Yeah, no, there's just... Well, if I could make 2 copies of Harbinger, I could put a Hierarch on top of my deck after making infinite mana. But I don't have a way Oh, wait. So if I make... Alright, I think this is the line. So I make infinite mana. I put Skirk Prospector on top. I can play Kiki-Jiki off of the top with the infinite mana, and then put Noble Hierarch on top, and then we'll play the Sling Gang from hand. So we need 17 plus 4 plus 5. So we need 30 mana. That's not what that comes out to, but that's an estimate. 17 plus 4 is 21. Plus 5 is 26. But yeah, so we do have it. That was a close one. Oh wait, no, when I make the copy of Harbinger, I won't have an untapped Snoop. Will I? Right? I make it. But I could find a second Kiki-Jiki with this Matron and play that. So we gotta make like 40 or 50 mana at this point. I think I found the line. I'm not sure. So we find another Kiki-Jiki to act as a hasty Snoop. Once we put... I think I'm saying it and I think it works. I don't know what I'm missing though. Like, Kiki-Jiki being a hasty Snoop means that I can make mana with Ignoble Hierarch. But do I have a way to get Noble Hierarch onto the top of the deck? I'm about to... I'm typing to my opponent that I have no idea what I'm doing. So 40, this would be enough mana. So now okay, so I put we turn off auto yields. I put Skirk Prospector. Oh, if I put Skirk Prospector on top, the Kiki's not there anymore. Oh, I fucked this up the whole time. So then I have to Matron. Oh no, but I can play the Skirk Prospector. So I Matron for the Kiki-Jiki. Kiki-Jiki then copies... Oh, I don't have the way... Do I? Oh, I messed up. Huh. Wishing I had a way to kill them with just red mana. And I'm pretty sure I don't. Matron, more Snoops, Mog War Marshal. I didn't board in anything. Yeah, this whole time I haven't been able to do it. I knew I was missing something. Alright. Whoops. Alright, so we just have to go to end step. Make a copy. And we still need mana to kill them if... oh no. Can I just auto stack them? Stack abilities automatically? Yeah, you can see it coming up here on the right side. They are going. Wait, why isn't it stack abilities automatically? Why is it... Oh, come on. Okay, they were stacking automatically. It just takes forever. So, I need to make a copy of Snoop again. And now I can F6. I only have 5 minutes on my clock against Burn, which sucks. So at their upkeep, we have to stop because we know they don't have it right now. So at their upkeep, we stop. No, at their upkeep, we don't make infinite tokens. That's dumb. We have to do it at their end step. I'm sorry. That is the only way for us to win. We do get one free blocker. Do I want to, I guess playing, Skirk Prospector will give us enough mana. So, that's not a big deal. They Lava Spike my face, which doesn't put us dead, I don't think. I'm at 6. They hit me for 2, or for 4. I don't need Boggart Harbinger. Do I? Oh, I do, don't I? So I block here. I make a token. So that we can just untap to try and kill them and we don't have to do anything fancy, but... So yeah. And save targets right here. So now we untap with, you know, as many tokens as we need to kill them, but... Here, let's get this thing off the stack so it doesn't take so long for each thing. We only need 8. But at upkeep, we are going to be putting Skirk Prospector on top so that we can make enough mana to gain a bunch of life as well. So we might as well do it for real. We have this one in 3 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever it's going to take, so... it's not going to take 10 minutes. So this is already 40 damage from just attacking. We want to play Skirk Prospector. We're going to have to sack 2 Snoops just to get Sling Gang in play. Then we're going to attack, and then we want to be able to, like, present Lethal Plus. So we're good here. We're just going to move to the next turn. Upkeep. This is fine. We're going to turn off auto yield so that we don't do same targets. Going to make a copy of Boggart Harbinger. Put Skirk Prospector on top. Draw it. Play it. Doesn't matter what I sack. I'll sack the tapped one. Black, green, and why not sack the Skirk Prospector? Because we're dead if this doesn't work, but we have it done 10 different ways. Unless they have a bolt. Actually, even if they have a bolt, we just sack all our guys in response, because we can kill them with combat damage. But if they had a bolt, they would have probably already used it. It stinks when you spend all that time finding a line and it's not a line. So there we go. We meet Burn. I'd say we got a little bit lucky, but we found the line. You know what I mean? Like, they had pretty much already emptied their hand. And we had an out, and it was that they didn't have interaction, which is, like, unlikely against Burn, but especially when it's playing Lightning Helix. But we got there. Can't complain about that. Who are we playing against? Putt. Really Put, but I'm assuming they wanted it to be Putt. Vile Grist? I mean, Aether Vial's really strong. They've revealed nothing. I guess this is a keep. It's unclear if it's really good enough, but I don't know. Seems decently powerful. Blue-red control. Vial is good against that, if that is in fact what this is. Already have both black and green mana in hand. We'll likely have to shock them in, but we'll see about that. But we'll preserve our life total the tiniest bit and grab a mountain. Play Aether Vial, see if we get Mana Tithe here. Nope. What is this? Temur Triome. I don't even know what that means anymore. Well, this means polymorph? Is that what this means? Looks like it, based on search for his content. Could just be Temur Control. Don't really know. I guess we don't have to shock these things in. We can actually grab a swamp to play Grist if we want to. Although having a swamp in play makes it harder to cast Snoop at any point in the game. Vial's about to be on 2 in just a second here. Looks like just a control deck. So this is Wilderness Reclamation control. And this, I imagine, is going to be a Prismari command here that they should have just done on last turn. We're being real about it. They're realizing that in my upkeep. And they may just, out of some small amount of shame, not do it yet, but there you go. So this is why I keep saying that that Aether Vial is a lot worse. We just got our Aether Vial blown up, you know, on turn 1 in the current meta. So they could just polymorph us next turn. And I guess we're kind of hoping that they take that risk and it's for something not Velomachusy that doesn't have haste, or that they fizzle after the Velomachus. So we'll play the Snoop and hope that Prismari Command was their only piece of creature interaction. I don't think Grist is doing much against the Polymorph deck anyway, especially once they have a treasure token in play already. They put an island into their graveyard with... I have to bring this up? Oh, that's not cool. So that you guys can see the most recent stuff. Hard evidence. They have 4 mana, and they have a bunch of tokens. Is one of them instant speed? I don't think so. We'll shuffle to get rid of this. Get rid of the Aether Vial on top. Ignoble Hierarch on top. Now, which... what does that mean? They seem to think it means something because they're pausing. They pass the turn to us. Grist on top, interesting. Now that they've seen that, I assume they're going to kill my Snoop. Pretty much, I don't want to say always, but decently big mistake to pass the turn. Oh, I don't have more green mana in the deck to fetch with this Wooded Foothills, so I have to shock this in so I can play Hierarch after this. We will just kind of put Kiki-Jiki on top. Like, don't need a second Grist. No reason not to go for it. They are going to, in response, kill our Snoop, which is the wrong time. But that's fine. So we get Boggart Harbinger. We get to put whatever we want on top. And I'm just going to put another Snoop. And we're going to play this Ignoble out and hope we're not dead. We very much could be. They are digging, and they're digging fast because they have Search for Azcanta and that clue token. So they're going to find their, what is it, Indomitable Creativity? I'm just going to call it Polymorph. They're going to find that soon, one way or another. Attack me with the 0-3 Crab, dude. You know this is not going down to life totals, right? So we're going to play the fetch land first. We'll play Snoop. We'll see what's on top. Is there anything I can put on top that saves me? If they're playing Emrakul, I can put Crater Maker on top. But we're assuming that they didn't have it, right? So, like, I guess I can just play Grist here. And then what that does is it allows me to attack through this crab. And then if they don't block with the crab, we can actually kill it. Probably by sacrificing. Let's just do the Harbinger. Now they can do it in response, I think, with one of their spells. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe that's only with Teferi. I know I've had it done in response. I just don't know what it was using. They have this treasure token, but what we did was we choked their mana a tiny bit because now they can't use this treasure token to cast a spell. So maybe if they dig with something like search for Azkanta's what is this? Azkanta, the Sunken Ruin. They dig with Azkanta, or well, they got it. So if it's Emrakul. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we're 1 permanent short. We're 1 permanent short. Maybe I should have plussed. Okay. Well, we couldn't have done it either way, is what it turns out. So I just so I can see if they're on Emrakul or Velomachus, we're gonna force them to do it. Because like I was playing around both, or I couldn't actually play around both. So we'll see. They're not doing it. I suppose they think I could have a bolt here. I don't want to draw what was on top, right? It was a Copperline Gorge. They're doing it now. Emrakul and Sarah's Emissary, giving them protection from creatures. Okay. So it is Emrakul. Can we beat a Sarah's Emissary? We can cast Crime Punishment for 800, I guess, which is like unlikely. Crater Maker comes in for sure because it kills Emrakul. But I assume they are aware that I can't beat Sarah's Emissary, right? I don't think you're supposed to bring in Crime Punishment, but I guess I do have an out to Sarah's Emissary because of Grist, and they saw that. Which, now I can't search for Grist in any way. Maybe future iterations of the deck will have that, but not this one. So they're playing Prismari Commands. These Aether Vials come right out. Blood Moons come in. Munitions Expert can keep them off of Dwarf tokens if that's what they're forced to use. As can Crime Punishment, though. Oh, and this will kill all their tokens, actually. So this is probably actually good here. And then Grist is my one out to Sarah's Emissary. We want to be able to turn 2 Moon. Maybe I cut a Munitions Expert and a Ringleader. I think that makes sense. Maybe I was supposed to cut the other Mog War Marshal, but that's probably more correct than cutting a Munitions Expert. But yes, we'd like to play first. This hand stinks. This hand is a lot better. We have basic Swamp here. Hopefully we're going to lock them out with Blood Moon after forcing interaction on the Snoop, and then just go for it again. Hopefully they're playing Prismari Commands, or they're going to lean on something like Prismari Command instead of We're going to need green mana, although we're not going to be able to play any green spells either way, are we? So it doesn't actually matter. But maybe we draw, like, Hierarch on turn 2 and we don't play Snoop. But so we'll throw away this Blackleaf Cliffs. Although I could just throw away the mountain. Actually, I'm so dumb. I should have just thrown away the mountain. I was like, basics, Blood Moon. The mountain. It doesn't make a difference. And if they counter our Blood Moon, they're going to wish we had that Blackleaf Cliffs. But it is what it is. Not a huge deal. So yeah. So I mulled to 6. They also mulled to 6. They're looking at mulling to 5, or this is a complicated keep here. Oh, he's still not tall enough. He's barely tall enough. Get him on stream. I'll put him away. Okay. You just don't want to mess up. We're going to play Snoop on turn 2. Based on this hand. Well, like I said, if we draw a Hierarch, we'll probably play that instead. Yeah, we're going to play Snoop, and the reason we're playing Snoop is this not only forces interaction from them, and yeah, sure, if they have a bolt, we didn't even, like, really waste any of their mana, but wow, this really forces interaction. It forces them now to either hold up mana or kill it or whatever, but also they might fetch, like, Temur Triumph, right? Because they're like, well, I have to kill this thing right now. They're shocking in. And we get, you know, make sure they don't get basics. One of the positives about Blood Moon in this matchup is that it also turns off Dwarven Mine. So that is a positive. Unfortunately, they have a fetch land, which, if I'm just trying to turn off Dwarven Mine, maybe I just play Matron here and look for another Snoop and don't play the Blood Moon yet. Maybe they don't fetch basic here. Maybe they think I'm mind gaming them. If they have another fetch land, this line is a whole ton worse, but it's really not exciting to play Blood Moon into the face of an uncracked fetch land, right? So we don't really give them anything good to do with their mana this turn. We just kind of allow them to play around Blood Moon if they're afraid of it. And it doesn't look like they are going to have the opportunity. Man, do I wish I could play Hierarch and Snoop. Maybe if I play Snoop this turn and force the interaction. They can't play Hard Evidence here. Are all of their token makers besides... I think I have to play the Moon here. They might Aether Gust it, which would sort of suck. But I think I have to play the Moon, even though I drew Hierarch. Are they going to Aether Gust this? I guess they can do it on their turn, but if they Aether Gust this, I am probably... Echoing Truth, okay. Echoing Truth is not really where they want to be, and that looks like a piece of Snoop interaction, not a Blood Moon one. So, what is this going to be? Teferi? Don't really care about Teferi, do I? Is Matt... What? What is that? Because, okay, so they know I'm going to replay Blood Moon? Now that I drew this, I'm just going to play Hierarch. Because if they make a token this turn, I can kill it by playing this for 0 and play Snoop, which is like double spelling is a good tempo play. We'll see how that works out. Okay, so they have another ending, which they wouldn't have been able to play had I just slammed my Blood Moon, but I also couldn't have played Hierarch. They only have the 3 lands. That's good to know. Which means... Okay, I could play Grist here. Do I want to play Grist here, or do I want to just play Snoop? Or do I want to play Blood Moon? Like, Blood Moon beats Prismari Command, which they definitely are still playing Game 2. So we're hoping that their interaction that's left in their hand is not Aether Gust, it's not Lightning Bolt, but we gave them time to draw things, which they drew this Dwarven Mine, which now, what do you call it? The Crab spell kind of saves them. We could have played Crater Maker to play around that, but gives them more time to draw removal, which if they have, they'll play here, and we'll just be able to move forward with the rest of our plan, which I guess is just Matron for another Snoop. Oh, are we just dead here? For some reason I forgot that Prismari Command is... Or they have the island. I was saying that they couldn't play Prismari Command, but yeah, we're just hoping they have no removal left other than Prismari Command or Bolt. Alright, so they had a 3 ending hand. I got greedy by bottoming Blood Moon. But I can take care of tokens. So I think I'm just supposed to play Matron, search for Snoop. Because how much more removal could they have, and I need to close this game out quick. We are down a game, by the way. I don't think this matchup is bad. I do think I played probably not bad, because I didn't make any like straight up punt, I don't think, other than if this kills me right now, and this doesn't. They're gonna brainstorm. We can kill that Jace by sacking Matron to Grist. And probably will. You have to save your fetch lands in case they start fate sealing you. I think I'm just going to play Grist out. They have to save a Bolt for Snoop. So we can attack Jace down without fear of them killing it before we knock it down to 2, even though we're going to Grist it dead. They might bolt the Matron in response to Grist, which we kind of want, but even in that situation, we would want to Jace it too. So we were just kind of trying to draw stuff out, kill Jace. Grist has been so powerful every time I've had it. Our life total isn't super important, is it? Get a mountain though, although this puts us right at 15, but they don't have something that gives Emrakul haste, I don't think. Probably don't need double black. Hope that doesn't come back to bite me. Because I didn't think about that decision very hard. Copperline Gorge. Not exactly what you want to see on top. Hard evidence into pro creatures is going to kill us, isn't it? That might have been a misplay. No, they get Emrakul, which we have Cratermaker for. Okay, that's lucky, but also, I guess they took out the pro creatures thing, because, like, they do just die to this. So, misplay from them. Yeah. Had they got Sarah's Emissary, we were dead there. I think. I guess because we had the opportunity to pull Skirk off the top, we could have done that, then comboed for infinite mana, played, if we had black-green left after that, pull that off the top, combo, black. Oh, see, we wouldn't have had black-green left. I should have got black, by the way. I said I hope that doesn't bite me, but should have got black there because playing the Harbinger and being able to play black-green with infinite mana to kill their Sarah is actually relevant. Could have played around that, didn't get punished. I think it's fine. I think we just run it back like that. They played all those prismatic endings, I'm assuming not just because of our combo, but because of Vile. And I don't imagine that they have less prismatic endings. If this hand draws land, it's like pretty good. But at the same time, it doesn't even have black mana. So, considering they probably have like 10 plus interactive spells for Hierarch, this is just a one-land hand, which I don't think I can keep. Like, every hand with not enough lands looks good because it's just got a bunch of spells in it. Just like this one. Oh my god. Wow, this is a doo-doo garbage hand. I don't think I can keep this. I don't think I win with this hand, ever. This, if we get lucky and they have a dog shit hand, we can get there. I think my choice here is to keep 3 lands so that we just have to draw Boggart Harbinger, and, you know, we have 3 draw steps to do it, and we're crossing our fingers. This was unfortunate. It's especially unfortunate now that we also don't have green mana, which we wouldn't have had. There was no way to make green mana in our original hand, I don't think, right? I don't know, I have to go back. If I didn't give myself a chance to play green mana, it was a mistake, but we're kind of on Harbinger or Bust here. This would buy us a turn, which may be a really important turn. I think I put back Munitions Expert, Auntie's Hovel, and Mog War Marshal. So I think I don't think I gave away the chance to make green. Here's our chance to make green if we really want it. People thinks I'm talking to it, but I'm not. We'll play the Snoop. We have a second chance at drawing Harbinger off the top. If the Snoop survives, I mean, that gives us the green light to play this Matron and just find a Harbinger, but maybe not. Because they could be holding up Prismari Command here. I'm just waiting to see what I draw. There's Harbinger. Here comes Lightning Bolt. Well, this may end up looking a lot like last game. Though, oh, Harbinger's on top. So if I go find Snoop, doesn't even really get me anything because I still have to find Harbinger. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna play this fetch land, not crack it, draw a card for my turn, then get Stomping Ground. Maybe kill their Escanta, I'm not sure. But we'll be able to play this Punishment at least. For those of you who don't know, Punishment is like Engineered Explosives, except it also kills Urza Saga. That's why we play it. You don't get to, you know, be the mana over a couple turns, but also you don't lock in, you know, the wrong thing either. But we're just dead here, looks like. Yeah, so our out is to find Crater Maker instead of this Harbinger, so we do have to shuffle our deck. We'll get Stomping Ground. I won't say we got outplayed. We were, you know, drawing slim, but I could have matroned for Crater Maker just to prevent Emrakul knowing what they did last game, but I guess that just didn't occur to me. But we're dead. Something like what could have gotten us out of that here, that nothing really. Like the way I played it, looking back, well, I mulled to 4, but I play Snoop, Harbinger's on top, they kill it. Now at this point, I play Matron for Crater Maker. They can't do that, but they make their token, I kill it, and then I'm kind of just hoping to draw. And I'm also hoping they don't, well, I just hold the Crater Maker. I don't know. I won't say that's an easy matchup because they have a ton of interaction, but it's not a bad matchup, I don't think. I don't know. Should this be a different scene so that I can like get rid of this black space? This black space is actually the chat. But this like almost looks like it's part of the MTGO interface. I don't know. Give me suggestions in the comments below or live in the Twitch chat if you're here, because it's a tough one. Like, if it were to disappear, it looks like this. But then if somebody talks, it goes over it anyway, and you get that same contrast problem. So, you'd be on top of it and like jockey it, but it's never going to be perfect. No. I could just make the background of the... no, because that's there to hide the white of the chat during... of the MTGO chat during games. Anyway, the deck is feeling pretty strong with Grist in it. Grist was giving us outs to things we wouldn't normally have. Forcing opponents to play differently. We just mulled to 4. And maybe you're supposed to keep that first hand, but no, right? Like, what did they kill our Snoop with? I don't even remember. Grist for sure. This will be the first game that we have Realmwalker. Obviously, it would be much better as a Snoop here, but it's not like we cut a Snoop. I think I'm going to keep this hand. It's like not fantastic, but they haven't revealed anything. We have outs to draw Harbinger or Snoop to go with our Harbinger, and one of our most powerful cards in Aether Vial, and Realmwalker is almost as powerful as Snoop. You know, not quite because it doesn't combo with Harbinger, but it does have the extra point of toughness to not die to Unholy Heat right away. Not that I expect them to be playing Unholy Heat because they didn't reveal Luris. There's Tron. Tron is a good matchup. This is not a good hand against Tron unless we draw Snoop, which we could. That's not bad. I'm just gonna play this and name Goblin. We may be able to get around a turn 3 really big Tron payoff here with this hand. Find out. And it looks like they could still have turn 3 Tron. They just, you know, they played the 2 natural pieces. And it looks like they're going to Ancient Stirrings here for another one. Ancient Stirrings reveals. Hopefully pay off a Nottron piece. Just because... How's the list feeling? I mean... We beat Burn. We beat Burn earlier with Jund. And one of the matchups that I would have switched back to Black-Red for instead of Jund is Burn. Just because you get a less painful mana base. But... I was talking about it earlier in the stream. Oh, do I want to flash in this Munitions Expert in case I draw Grist? Because it likely doesn't do a ton, although my Vial will be on 2 either way. Interesting, interesting. I think I just leave it. Although... Yeah, I think I just leave it. Whatever. It's not going to do much in this matchup one way or another, I don't think. Especially with... It looks... Well, we know they have a 10 mana payoff. That is 10, right? Yeah. So I kinda... We don't have a way to Vial and Snoop. We don't actually have it either. We're just gonna play this Realmwalker out. See what's on top. Hope that... that is not what you want on top. So because that's on top, we may end up doing the Aether Vial trick with this Harbinger. We'll see. Instead of saving it for combo, right? What would we put on top? A Crater Maker? Depends what they get here. Karn the Great Creator is the absolute worst case scenario for this. Because it turns off the Aether Vial. And I guess I have to Vial this in. You have to target your stuff, but you don't actually have to deal damage to it. You hit no. It's interesting. I wonder if that would change the game and how it plays at all if they were to change, like, for May abilities, you don't pick a target until you decide whether or not you want to do it, right? Although, I guess the ordering is like, so if you decide yes, and you do something and they interact and make that no longer worthwhile, now you can't then choose not to do it, right? Saving clicks on MTGO is not worth that kind of gameplay change, I wouldn't think. Anyway, Karn the Great Creator is pretty good when you have an Aether Vial in play. Now, they don't know that I just have a Bloodstained Mire on top of my deck. This is not the same as Snoop in that it reveals the top card. We just get to know the top card of our library, not them. So, not that it necessarily changes things for them. Is this going to be liquid metal coating? I wonder. I always wonder when they just have the 3 mana left, what they're going to do. Because not a ton of good options in Modern other than liquid metal coating. Walking Ballista for 2? I don't think that that's a good play. And I guess it's a blocker. I assume there's going to be like a Chromatic Sphere or an Expedition Map type card. Okay. I mean, we're going to attack Karn. And, I guess I want to put this on 3. Fetch land, probably worthwhile. We'll just grab... I guess if we get a Grist, we're going to wish we had a Stomping Ground. It's so great that you get to see the top of your library before deciding if you want to shock the shock land in, which I love. This means Karn is going to die. Oh no, it doesn't. Doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that because they can block and sack and Karn just takes 2, but it does mean Karn is not going to get to tutor again. Sideboard tutor, wish I guess it is, not really tutor. So they'll block, they'll probably sack, kill this munitions expert to save Karn. Karn takes 2, goes to 1. I assume they'll, maybe they plus Expedition Map as a blocker, but short of Urza's Tower here, they can't cast Ulamog, but maybe they have Urza's Tower. If not, I assume they'll want to find it with this map they have. We do have 5 mana for Kiki-Jiki next turn if we want it. And there's the 10. Now, we are not just dead to that. It is indestructible. We have 1 turn to do something about this. If I'm them, my targets... Oh, it's a tough choice, actually. They can really only make a mistake. There's no real wrong answer except for, like, I'll kill both your creatures, or... Well, they don't know what's on top. So they take Realmwalker and Stomping Ground, which means I can't kill Karn unless I get another Haster, which I do have but can't play. Oh, and they do plus on the Expedition map, as like I was talking about. So I think we're just dead. Is this indestructible? You can't actually kill it with, even if I had Cratermaker main. Well, if Tron is going to be in this meta, maybe I should be mulling harder for combo. But boy, does that feel not good. I don't think... Yeah, I have no outs here. So we'll just go to game 2. And we have a good sideboard against Tron. We don't have main deck Cratermaker anymore, but Blood Moons come in, Cratermaker comes in. You can bring Masked Vandal in. It sort of helps. You can kind of get, like, Expedition maps on the play with Crime Punishment, but it's probably not necessary because we have 4 Blood Moons. Don't want to play the long game. Grist is okay. Realmwalker's a little slow. Munitions Expert kind of stinks. Although Aether Vials, well, I think we can cut... They play Karn the Great Creator like you just saw, so like sometimes it just sucks. So you don't want to keep hands that rely on it, although on the play it's better. So we'll keep 3. We're really just kind of going for combo. And you know what? Because we're just kind of going for combo, sometimes Ringleader is going to be better than something like War Marshal. I think. Maybe Trash Master is like, there's some merit to that. Because a lot of their payoffs are artifacts. How's it going, Electric Bob? It's been a while. It's my fault, though. I've been away. Just on vacation and stuff. I think this is fine. I mean, we're just mulling for combos in Blood Moons, so like everything else is kind of just like a half a percentage point. You know what I mean? Did I go anywhere cool? I went to Atlantic City. Went to the beach. Went to the casino. Saw my family. Wow, what a hand. You can't keep this. I mean, you have your basic. You don't even have a 3rd land. You don't have a Snoop. It was a good time. I can't wait to go back, to be honest. This is good. This is a good hand. You have 2 draw steps to draw land. You have 22 lands in the deck. I don't think you throw this back. Throw back a Harbinger. Even if they have one of their removal spells, like Dismember, Well, no, that actually just fucking sucks if they have something like Dismember. That is not something that you want to see here. But they play Expedition map, so... land? Okay, not land. But we have a chance to see another land. Please land. Please land on top. There it is. If the Snoop survives, we've got it. What I want to see from them, Urza's Tower, crack Expedition map. Let's see it. Nope. That implies interaction. I have to force the interaction, don't I? No, we're not out of it, Sloth. We're not out of it. I guess they would hold this up whether or not they had removal. So I sort of have to go for it, don't I? I sort of have to go for it. Yep. It doesn't actually matter. No, it does matter. We'll get Blood Crypt. We'll make blue mana to assert dominance, maybe scare them off of interacting. Play our Boggart Harbinger and hope that they don't have the couple pieces of removal that they have. We'll put Kiki Jiki on top. We'll wait until our end step because we can kill them at instant speed. So yeah, they don't tap out, which is interesting. But at this point, short of 2 pieces of removal, they don't have us. So not cracking Expedition map implies that they have interaction, but that's fine. I'll go for it at their end step. We gave them a chance to draw more. If this is for black mana, yeah, they had to Dismember the whole time. I would think. Nope, they conceded, so they were just looking for Dismember, and they were letting me know that they were looking for Dismember, or letting their deck know. Right, I had the reload, so that was part of the reason that we just went for it instead of doing anything fancy. Does anything change on the play versus the draw? Aether Vial gets worse, but you know, if they choose to play Karn the Great Creator to stop an Aether Vial, and then we just untap and Harbinger them, I think we're fine. Although, didn't I say that Mogwar Marshal was worse than, like, another thing? I don't even remember what. Munitions Expert? Not really. Like I said earlier, it's kind of just like half a percentage point or 2 that you're trying to gain by doing anything fancy here. So let's stick with Mogwar Marshal on the off chance that it makes one of our Munitions Experts kill Karn the Great Creator, right? I mean, cards are mostly dead in the matchup, but it is what it is. It's already 8 o'clock, damn. This is another hand where you draw 1 land and you're great, so I'll keep this. Now, unfortunately, we don't have black mana. We don't have a way to get our swamp and play this Hierarch, but we might draw it on turn 1. Definitely turn 1 Hierarching here. Have I been missing Pashalik? Earlier against Burn, I won anyway, but you have to play Hierarch here, by the way. Because it's not like Skirk where you can Violet it on turn 2 and still do your turn 2 Blood Moon if you draw a land. It won't have haste. What was I saying? So earlier I could have killed, because I had infinite red mana, like infinite goblins, but I had both my Slingangs in my hand. And I could have killed immediately. But it was against Burn, and I wanted both Slingangs in my hand. I just, like, wasn't drawing lands, and I played Snoop as my last resort. And so, like, what do I do here? What do I reveal? I guess I reveal Slingang because it means, like, actual nothing. No, I don't reveal Slingang. I don't reveal Sling Gang because I need the black mana from Hierarch. Not really, actually, but because I have Vial, and I can, like, get there before they do anything, but here we actually have double moon in case they grab Forest here and kill our first moon with, like, Wilt or something. But yeah, I beat that. I beat the burn matchup anyway, even though I didn't have a Pashlik to go grab. It took me a long time to figure out that I didn't have an out, because, like, I just needed one black mana, but I wasn't drawing lands, so I was thinking there was a line where... Alright, so they take out my mana. I still have Snoop and Vial, though, so, like, I will get there eventually. They can Karn the Great Creator me, which fucks up my Vial. They can find their Forest here, which sucks. But I don't think that there's a situation where you don't play Blood Moon against Tron, right? When they have the chance to just bop you out of the game with their next land. So anyway, in summary, I haven't really missed Pashlik, no. So we'll start ticking up this Vial so that we can play. I think Wilt costs 2 mana. They know we can't play this Harbinger, so this Snoop shouldn't even scare them. We're just kind of waiting and hoping that we get to combo them before anything. I'm checking. Am I down a game right now? No. Or wait, is this game 3? Yes, we're just even. Oh man, I'm not up a game. That was what I meant when I said, am I down a game? Well, so this is it. It's not the best feeling when you're just like crossing your fingers, hoping that 3 turns from now you'll still be alive. And they had the removal for the Snoop anyway, though. So we just have a bunch of dead cards in our hand. And can't even play that. I guess we'll play this. Hoping to find actual basic swamp on top. Snoop wouldn't be bad either, because Vial takes up to 2. You Vial and Snoop, you Vial and Harbinger. Kind of get him out of nowhere. It is soft to Karn the Great Creator, but Snoop, basic swamp. I guess Matron also an out because Snoop is good. So what does that put us at? It's at least 8 outs. 8 out of 48, which I don't know what that is fractionally, but it's not bad. Oh, man, another Harbinger is like just rubbing it in. Is it possible I'm not supposed to have played Blood Moon? Doesn't look like it based on what's going on over there, right? So here at our upkeep, we will say yes to the dress. We'll put a Snoop on top and we'll play it. So that's pretty cool. Copperline Gorge on top comes in untapped, doesn't matter other than playing maybe double Snoop, I guess. I don't know. Like if you put Snoop on top and then there's one underneath it. But they are dead if they don't have interaction here. 4, 5, 6. Is this Wormcoil Engine? Okay, Walking Ballista. Walking Ballista does kind of suck for us. They're still at 16, so it's not even like I could tick Vial up to 4. I think I have to use Harbinger to put... Oh, there's nothing I could put on top, is there? With Harbinger that kills this Walking Ballista. I guess Crater Maker would do it. So maybe I do that. Just because if this if they are allowed to untap with this ballista, they will run away with the game. Although their ballista can only get to 2 counters. So like getting Snoop is almost the same. But I think I'd rather leave more outs in the deck. So we'll just get Crater Maker. I'll attack for 2. Because it makes this Sling Gang a possible out. We'll play Crater Maker. If they go to put counters on this, we respond. I don't think that there's any issue. So, do I want to put another Harbinger into play here? I think I can just attack past this ballista if I want to save this Harbinger. No, so the way this worked, oh, I was supposed to have done it already. Because now they kill both my Harbingers, and I just have no board left, which sucks. So I guess I don't do it yet. We don't vial anything in. And we just try to attack. Can't play this Blood Moon because it means we tap out of being able to use Crater Maker. You know, if they take 6 because they want to be able to kill both my Harbingers, so in response, we go to kill this. It means they don't take the damage, but we do save one of the Harbingers, which I think is relevant. They could technically have just eaten my Harbinger as well, so. End of turn, do I want to vial in a Harbinger to attack them for 4, put them to 10, and then have Sling Gang Lieutenant? It really depends on what they do, but I may want to do that. What would I put on top of my library? Another Snoop, maybe? Ooh, I would do it here, wouldn't I? They only have 2 mana left. So we're going to do it. Pressures the Karn. And I think we're going to tick our vial up to 4. Which means maybe I grab Ringleader here. So, yeah. Because that means Karn definitely dies. Although it's not like super relevant, but I'm not going to be able to tick our vial up to 4. Oh man, I just made a huge misplay. They get Ballista here, they block. Karn goes to 1. Oh man, that was so dumb. I just actually made it so I can't win. If they have another Ballista to grab, and they do. Although they already have one, I don't know. I just made a huge misplay. That was so dumb. The drawback of Harbinger is that you don't draw lands when you put stuff on top, right? So even though you're setting your draw step, you know it's not a land. Wow. This is going to be like the 3rd game I lose to Tron in a row. I'm just like not playing well against it. That was huge punt. Huge punt. I mean, they have to see the line of getting Ballista to keep Karn alive. But, and I've sort of like, I don't know, maybe I hid my hand by putting Ringleader on top, but I like definitely can't play this Ringleader next turn. So I just put a blank on top. So dumb. So dumb. So very hot in here. Damn. Not happy about that. But they're tanking, which means maybe they don't have Ballista or they don't see it. But they have plenty of time to find it. So, what was I supposed to get instead is the question. Matron, I guess? Just to get a body? Maybe Snoop. Although you can't play Harbinger at this point. Yeah, had to be a red card, which is how I landed on Ringleader. But I forgot that I wouldn't have the Vial. Like, and I definitely wouldn't draw land, right? I was just like, I'm gonna have a Vial on 4. And I don't know how those two conditions combined in my head. Grabbing Ringleader, needing it to be only red, and having a Vial on 3. Forgot about the alternate text. For people who don't know, when Karn the Great Creator is in play, you can't activate your artifacts. So our Aether Vial is just completely turned off. They get Pithing Needle. I assume they're going to needle Vial here, but maybe they needle Snoop. They didn't have another Walking Ballista, so we sort of forced a pretty rough name from them. If this does in fact name Vial, it's going to look like a 5,000 IQ play, but really it was like a 5 IQ play. Maybe 50. I'll give it 50. So they name Aether Vial. So our Vial is off. Gotta draw land at this point. Sling Gang is dead in our hand for the foreseeable future. We didn't bring Crater Maker in, or we brought in our only Crater Maker. We didn't bring the Lord guy, Trash Master in. We didn't bring Trash Master in because it's like usually not their artifacts that hurt you. Just gonna kill Karn so they can't tutor again. Yeah, I mean, our outs at this point are that they don't hit their 7th land to play whatever their big 7-drop is. And that it's all 10 drops in their hand for the next 4 turns. Or 3 turns if we get this Ringleader out. And we do. By the way, you're not supposed to have to reveal for Auntie's Hovel when there's a Blood Moon in play. It's just a bug, but luckily we do have something to play. That is a Goblin. So another Ringleader is pretty sick, because it means it's another hasty threat next turn. And with them going to 8, that is lethal. So gotta have something here. Dismember doesn't do it, because Dismember hurts them pretty badly. This is not how Tron games normally play out, but I mean, Blood Moon makes games play out like this when it's in play, so I guess it's not fair to say this isn't how they normally play out, but usually, yeah, so that did nothing except bring them even lower and make them probably dead to more things, although I don't know what. Like, basic Swamp at this point kills them. I guess it already did, though. I think that was just them being frustrated. Because they know we have the other Ringleader, so it's not going to be a secret. And short of... they can't play Warping Whale. Matron is a body. Matron is a body. This doesn't go well. Okay, we made it. We made it out of the Tron match without punting too badly. 5 IQ plays turn out to be 5,000, which is actually usually the case. when somebody said they made a 5,000 IQ play. All right, so I think we can get both matches in before this ends. I'm gonna get in the queue and use the bathroom, grab some water, and then we'll keep going. So see you in a little bit. Oh no! Oh no! I thought I had one more second. I should have just clicked it. Whatever. We'll find another match. What was I gonna say? I feel like Asmongold drinking water out of a. Oh, his is probably always soda, but drinking water out of a Chipotle cup. Keeping suspense up for the stream. It's not what I was actually doing. And I don't. Maybe had I thought of that earlier, I say to myself, like, how many walking ballistas do they really play? But I would have come to the conclusion that there's always one in their sideboard, so I wouldn't have done that. Which means we might have just lost had I made the correct play, but Zamgeef had the soul read apparently. Okay, so you know, you repeat yourself a lot as a streamer, but the whole reason we're playing Grist is so that hands with turn 1 Hierarch look even better. Well, look good at all. Like, imagine this was a Matron. This is just, like, not exciting. But a turn 2 Grist, that's pretty cool, if I do say so myself. So, next turn, if we don't get to play Grist, we play Skirk and Hierarch, which isn't great. But if this Grist does survive, Skirk and Hierarch are great. So isn't that cool too? It's going to be Fatal Push. Thoughtseize. All right, well. Thoughtseize is always going to be good. You're never going to beat that. So they take the turn 2 Grist. And then we are left with nothing great. We'll play both Hierarch and Skirk, and then unless we Thoughtseize bug a Grist to the top. I'm typing it to my opponent just to tilt them. Thoughtseize bug incoming. And hit enter once they take Grist. Thoughtseize bug incoming. Because I really want to play that Grist. Oh no, grief! This might reset the Thoughtseize bug. Forget I said anything. This is a Reanimator deck. They're taking our interaction. They don't have the Ephemerate or Malakir Rebirth type spell to, because they already paid. Well, Thoughtseize Bug didn't make it. They know about the Anti's Hovel. They know about the Sling Gang, so we'll reveal it. No, it doesn't do anything except imply we may have drawn the Lightning Bolt. Just bop them for 2 and go on with our day. So if this is Reanimator, which I believe it is, we are no longer on Leyline of the Void. Because it just felt bad in matchups where we were mostly using it, which was blue-red. Because it's a horrible top deck, and, you know, it sort of puts you behind on cards using it. I think I'm just supposed to play Sling Gang here and attack. Like, I don't think there's anything I can put on top with Harbinger other than, like, Ringleader that really shoots me ahead. And putting Sling Gang in play... Actually, putting Sling Gang in play doesn't give me too much more damage, does it? It's okay. Let's set the top of our library. We can't find anything fantastic. We can get Ringleader to draw us out of it. We can get Snoop and, like, hope there's a Kiki on top. If they play what did they put in? Sarah's Emissary? Sarah's Emissary sort of fucks us. This is like an argument for a less Goblins-focused version of this deck that plays Imperial Recruiter and doesn't rely on Ringleader at all. Once you do that, the only thing that really wants Goblins is Snoop is just a combo piece. Can't kill Sarah's Emissary, can we? You and creatures you control have protection from the chosen type. So, if they get that into play, we're dead, is what it comes down to. We have 1 out, it's Grist. And so the way to win this game is if they don't have Persist. They don't have a way to get this into play. So maybe they have the Priest, and we get Munitions Expert. And put it on top. And that way, if we draw land, we can still do Sling Gang plus Munitions Expert. Oh, we're not going to draw land. No, we're putting this on top. Yeah, I think that's the best call. Our opponent asked what the Thoughtseize Bug was, and I just didn't notice. So yeah, our out is they're relying on the Priest, and they don't have a lot of lands. There's a land tapped. If it's Persists, we're just almost certainly dead. I don't think Persist is instant speed, so we might have headed them off at the pass here. We sort of have to... No, we don't have to hold up. We don't have to hold up Munitions Expert, right? Although maybe I want to like hold Sling Gang so that removal isn't that good. So I'm just holding up Munitions Expert anyway. Yeah. Because like we're going to swing for 4 next turn either way. Well, we'll swing for 3. And then, yeah. Man, so that sort of game, that reminds me, well, it doesn't remind me, but it makes me think of like those streamers that they just concede and they see that the person got the thing into play, right? Like, some people concede so fast, and I really don't. It makes my leagues take forever, but I don't know. They don't always have it. Just a reminder. So this kills the priest, and it's searchable. So that's like kind of worth it. We probably can't go over the top of them. Aether Vial actually does protect our combo, as does Mog War Marshal. Because they have a thing that'll be like, sack a creature. The Archon. This is our out to the Sarah's Protector, or whatever it's called. Munitions Expert kills Priest, but it's like you need another Goblin in play, so maybe we don't want that. Skirk is probably pretty bad. Because we're not blood mooning them, right? They're just black-white. They definitely have, like... you know, enough basics that it's not going to matter. I don't think Mass Vandal or Crater Maker are worth it. They might be playing Plague Engineer, and this Tarfire gets a lot better. I don't think you want Fatal Push. I mean... Crater Maker isn't out to, like, Torpor Orb and no, they're not playing Torpor Orb. They're a Reanimator deck. I think this is fine. I don't know. I don't know what they bring in. I guess Stoneforge Mystic? So if they do Stoneforge Mystic, it's like these are bad. They probably have Prismatic Ending. Like maybe you cut a vial or two. Keep like Munitions Expert in. I don't know. I've been cutting vial so often. I've been thinking about cutting it from the deck in general. So it like makes me more likely to cut it in the sideboard. And it sounds insane. It's like, why are you cutting vial? It's what makes your deck powerful. It's one of your most powerful cards. That's all true. But there's a high chance that this build of Goblins isn't actually good in the meta. Where there's so much vial interaction. Do I keep this just because I can draw Snoop and win? No, right? Because this Hierarch does nothing. These Harbingers and the Kiki, yeah, just mulligan this. This is, oh my god, this is really bad. It has a relic, but like, I don't even think that that's super important compared to being able to play the game. And we play a ton of lands. Oh my god. Can I keep this? If I draw any Goblin, Munitions Expert can kill a Priest? Oh my god, and they're the Thoughtseize deck. I should have just kept the first hand. Oh, this is bad. We're not playing Blood Moon. We're not countering our spells. We want to be able to cast Grist. Although, this is a tri-land. So maybe I just throw back this. I mean... They're gonna Thoughtseize us and be like, okay. I guess I win. And they are correct. I think they win. Like, going down to 4 doesn't make this any better. That's unfortunate. It is the most unfortunate. Of course that's what we draw. And of course I actually just made a misplay by playing Cavern of Souls. I should have just played Anti's Hovel, because I mean, I guess it's not a big deal. But Cavern of Souls is the one land that has no upside to it. Because, like, you could thin your deck by playing a fetch land. You can get this into play untapped by playing this. This will always come into play untapped. Makes 3 colors of mana, doesn't even cast Starfire. I guess I'm gonna go with the one that I said has some upside. We'll play Wooded Foothills, and you know, we need to shock something into play to kill a priest, which is unlikely. They have only black mana right now, which is probably hamstringing them. Wow, Kiki Jiki, great draw. Not actually a good draw. At this point, we're saving fetch lands as redraws if we draw Snoop. We know there's two. We know there's 2 lands on the bottom of our deck actually. So we don't gain anything. Okay, just straight sword. Yeah, this is not looking like a win for us. But it's not necessarily looking like a win for them. Although any creature, and we probably can't come back from it. Okay. Oh, we don't need to crack fetch lands to play this guy. Make blue mana, assert dominance. Feeling dominant. Probably shouldn't. But playing Kiki Jiki and Sling Gang Lieutenant is a pretty fast clock. So, you know, if they don't have a creature to attach this to... Ah, there goes Kiki. Okay, well, I mean, they have cast 2 Thoughtseizes, so they're at 14. Only 1 card left in their hand. Hope it's not a good one, because neither is ours. Can't F6 with Sling Gang in play. That doesn't really change anything. They know we have this. We'll play it first. We'll attack with everything. There's no flash creature that they could reasonably be playing. They might be playing one, but it wouldn't be reasonable. We'll attack with all our creatures. And then, sorry, I got a text, and it is about band practice, which is in an hour. All right. So they're at a virtual 9. We're going to attack them for 3 next turn. I have to fade a couple draw steps. Still no reason to crack these. No reason to play that either. No reason to crack these because we put two lands on the bottom at the beginning. Although, actually, if you pull a land out with each of these Bloodstained Mires, you are... No, you're not changing the math. I'm sorry. Thinking because these are already in play. So you're not changing the math. So here's a Persist. Or an Unmarked Grave, which means if that last card in their hand was Persist, we're in trouble. Because we'll just be dead right here. To Sarah's Protector, or whatever it is. And we'll go to game 3 if that's the case. But this type of situation makes Relic a great draw. What? They didn't put anything in their graveyard? What happened? Did they just draw all of their... That's very weird. I mean, attack them to 7. I asked them what happened in the chat. Not as like an insult. Make white mana to console them. Put... I don't know. I think just about anything kills them at this point, but... Is there a way to play around Sarah? No. I almost maybe shouldn't put anything up, but I guess if they do something crazy... Is there a play that makes that reasonable? Unmarked Grave for nothing? I don't think there is. I think they just fucked up. They fucked up, or they have all their stuff in their hand. And I feel bad if that's the case, because I was most likely dead to Unmarked Grave. Because they're not playing land anymore, and... Okay, Grief doesn't pull off the top of our deck. So I believe they're still dead. Barring, I don't know what, Ephemerate? Ephemerate would take our, Ephemerate would take our Slinging and our draw step. And because they may still have Ephemerate, I am going to cast this first. Make blue mana. Show that I know what I'm doing. Only players who know what they're doing make blue mana. Dude, I mean, signing up without blue mana, what a mistake. All right, so at least a 3-1 tonight, which is good. We got an easy matchup in Tron. We got a slightly favorable matchup in Burn. Again, we're only playing 6 fetch lands now instead of 7, and an extra Copperline Gorge to make our mana less painful than it was. What else? What did we lose to? I don't even remember. But we beat Black White Reanimator, Burn, Tron. We lost to... It may not come to me. You'll just have to watch the VOD again. What the hell was it? Let me look at the league details. It was the second match? Putt-putt? Do I have to hit play? Yeah. Well, it looks like I mulliganed a bunch. Oh yeah, we lost to Polymorph when we mulled the 4, which is not the worst matchup. Did I just take myself out of the queue by Xing out the replay? Is that how that works? Obviously shouldn't be how it works, but it is. It's like that would make sense if Magic Online was one application and it wouldn't be a big deal, but it's like a windowed application, right? So why is that window the same, but you can't do it for the other stuff? It doesn't make any sense, but it is what it is. Anyway, we've had a pretty good day so far. We got the Greenscreen out. This is gonna be our last match. That's why I'm recapping. It's gonna be our last match one way or another. We got the Greenscreen. I see that, you know, there's some shadowing. I don't play in a very bright room. If I turn all my lights on, I get like this horrible shadow under my glasses that makes me look like I'm wearing face paint almost. I need like a fluorescent light kind of just above me here. Have that. My light is like right there, which makes the shadow come instead of, you know, diffuse on top of my head. Anyway, we got a new layout because of the green screen. We got a whole bunch of points which nobody redeemed. That's fine. I think you keep this just because if you draw Snoop, you're like pretty psyched, and you can play Matron for Snoop on turn 2. Even though it's not exciting, it's something you can do. It's a little bit all-in-ish, but they could be playing Tron, so maybe that's where you gotta be. Mirror Ripper. Nope, they're playing blue-red. Not a good sign for us. Red matchups are the hardest in general because they have the cheapest interaction with our creatures, because we don't play anything that escapes the range of any burn spell. So red is tough for us, and blue ups their consistency a whole bunch. And here we're getting ragged, and they're gonna make a treasure, which sucks for us. And if this hits us again next turn, I'm thankful they took the Aether Vial off the top, but they're probably gonna play it, which is still good for them. I mean, I don't want to be defeatist, but this is not a good matchup, and we're likely dead here, especially since we didn't draw third land. And that's why we're playing 23. Maybe it's why we should be playing 24. You just can't count on Hierarch surviving, and you can't afford to stumble. You know, you do take them a little bit off balance by forcing them to interact with your Hierarch, but everybody knows they're supposed to bolt the bird, and it is still correct. So, Murktide Region on top. Not exciting for us. Snoop in play on the other side. Skirk over here. If we draw a Snoop, we, you know, we can still win if they have 0 interaction. But, I mean, if you take a look at what's going on, how big is my webcam? Can I point? Nope. I want to be able to point with, like, without having to do that, you know what I mean? Just reach over like Vanna White to the board. In fact, that's like, talk about, all right, we're dead. We can't beat this. They have a Murktide. There's no way. We're about to take 100. So Fatal Push comes in. Tarfire comes in. I think you bring in Relics because they're a Murktide and DRC deck. You take out Vials because they're too slow and they also can kill them. Crater Maker kind of sucks. Mash Vandal is awful. I think this is everything you want. So then what do we do with the rest of our deck? Combo, very unlikely. Mogwar Marshal blocks Ragavan, so I guess you don't cut that. Maybe 3 Relics is too many for a deck that's only tangentially a graveyard deck, because it's not like I'm mulling for a Relic, right? But I do want 2 at least. And maybe we cut... Maybe we just cut a Skirk Prospector, because, like... Although it blocks turn 1 Ragavan, and that's the idea, isn't it? Maybe you cut a Kiki Jiki because the combo is so unlikely. You go like this. Yeah, and on the draw, maybe if we win, you're allowed to cut a land. No, so this is one of the matchups where Realmwalker may pull its weight more than others because it is our one card that dodges Unholy Heat before it's got Delirium. And while that's not always relevant, this is the only matchup, or this is one of the only matchups where it is relevant at all. So I think it's worth keeping in. Like, we don't want to play the long game necessarily, but Realmwalker may steal a game. Wow, wouldn't this be something if they got Delirium here, but they can't, right? So, had they had a fetch land, it was possible? No. No, they'd need another spell. But they'll probably have Delirium turn 2, which means I am priced in to killing this with Munitions Expert while I can, aren't I? That or I can play Mogwar Marshal or Conspicuous Snoop because I also have Prime Punishment. But yeah, maybe I do. No, because they get so much surveilling done. So I just have to. Can I afford to get a basic here? Usually the answer is no when you have a Conspicuous Snoop in your hand at all, but I'm gonna test it and see how much I regret it. Like, I do have all my colors of mana next turn, even if I fetch a basic mountain with Wooded Foothills, so, like, maybe I can get away with getting this swamp. The trouble with these blue-red decks is that they put on so much pressure, so our iffy mana base, and I'm going to shock here, our iffy mana base does come back to bite us a little bit. Not playing Snoop. Have to play Mogwar Marshal in case they dash in a Ragavan. And the shocking in of the Blood Crypt for it to remain tapped was kind of dumb because I'm not playing Snoop now. But it implies a Fatal Push or Lightning Bolt. which maybe I got 10,000 IQ and I don't know it. So we'll see. I mean, they didn't play a creature, so like, man, Murktide Regent just destroys us here, doesn't it? Because they can easily play it. They have a million things in their graveyard. And they don't even have to tap out to play it. Like, they can still bolt us. That's one of the craziest parts about it. There's nothing I can tutor to kill Murktide Regent. Maybe they don't make Murktide Regent very big and we get to expert it, but doubting that. So here my option, if I'm trying to play around Murktide Regent, I'm supposed to play Matron here. Because like they haven't played a single removal spell yet. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that lightning bolt they thought scoured. So like if I'm trying not to lose to Murktide Regent, I get the possibility of double munitions expert next turn. Yeah, and there's the Unholy Heat, so we know that the Snoop was a bad call. I think they must have another removal spell, right? Because they're trying to keep me from having a 4 damage expert. So there's Ragavan. I mean, they're gonna kill my Goblin and hit me. It ramps them. I don't know if that's really the best thing for them to do, but that's fine. Like, they're gonna go pretty low. They take a Matron, just play bad cards. That's everybody in Legacy actually thinks that that's like, oh yeah, you just play Death and Taxes because it has bad cards in it. And it means you can spike a tournament, but you're flipping a coin when Ragavan hits you. It's like, they can still play your cards, and if your cards are bad, bad cards against bad cards is an even matchup, so it's just card advantage. But anyway, I digress. They still have removal open. I guess to save my life total, I do want to fetch now. I may need double green, but I can't get it, so we'll just get this. We'll play... I'm probably playing Snoop this turn, which means... Well, no. I was going to say which means maybe I should have... Yeah, it actually did mean it. I should have played Snoop first, because if there's Hierarch on top, I get to just attack with 1, and then a dashed Ragavan gets blocked by, you know, Goblin token. But there's the Bolt. We know we have a Ringleader on top, so we don't want to shuffle. We have Expert to flash in, and they know that. So we're going to do that to try and kill their dashed Ragavan, which they're paying 2 life for? Or 1 life for? Like, why? I'm killing this Ragavan either way. Because I want that Ringleader, don't I? So they have the counter spell, which means they can't play Ringleader. It just means I'm not drawing it. Which means I don't have to crack this fetch. Because I don't have to crack the fetch because I don't know what's on top. But I don't have any more Shocklands in the deck to grab, so I guess I could thin my deck, but not sure how relevant that is. Like, although they only have 1 card in hand, and I think we know it's Murktide Regent, right? Because it got revealed? Or maybe, no, it didn't get revealed. That was last game. So we take 2 from Ragavan. They pull that Ringleader off the top, which is... Maybe I should have shuffled. No. Because if they hit a 1-drop, I'm upset. that they can play it and block, right? I think I will. I think I will thin. Okay. So this makes punishment on 1 a little bit worse, but it also allows us to attack for 2 without tapping both our blockers, which means they need a removal spell if they want to dash their Ragavan in again. And then they'll waste their removal spell on my Goblin, and then I will... Oh, Mystical Pot. Just want to say hi on mobile using data, so you're just going to lurk. We'll see I'm 3-1. Durability deck, and just want to see it do well. Yeah, there's good matchups in the meta. It may be that Jund isn't the build to go with. We've all been trying Jund for a couple months, and like nobody wants to believe that you know, Hierarch is bad. And I don't think it is. It's just that if burn is like a big part of your meta, you want a less painful mana base. And so, like, from that, you get maybe I should be black-red to get a better burn matchup. But I think the green cards... Okay, so they want me to block. I think I play around more by doing this first. I don't think... The order may not matter, but I think I play around more by doing this first. Because I don't actually want to lose that Goblin token. It does change the clock. So there's a second Ragavan, and I can actually punishment on 1 here, and it's sick. So black, green, punishment, green, black, 1. Get that blocker out of here. Need to get a new Cyberpunk Goblins. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I think, unfortunately, I know a lot of people like Innistrad. I've never been a huge fan of Innistrad. I'm not like a big Halloween guy either. I know a lot of Magic people are. You know, I think that's sort of big. Innistrad is huge, obviously, for a reason. Yeah, the new urban environment, if they Kozilek's return me here, I'm like so upset. And I could have played around that by not playing Skirk Prospector, but instead I chose to play around Ragavan, even though they've already played 2. Because Ragavan hits me, and then I guess it's like less likely to be good. But Ragavan hits me and plays Sling Gang Lieutenant, and I can't win. But here, if they draw Kozilek's Return, I'm just like actually crying. And now I think they're dead no matter what. But yeah, I'm so excited for new Capenna. I think that Ravnica as the only urban environment is like, you know, not that great. I mean, Ravnica's cool, but like the guilds are like almost overdone at this point, right? So seeing a new urban environment is cool. So that's gonna be sick. Cyberpunk Kamigawa is gonna be sick. They're all, I mean, there may not be goblins in New Capenna, but which is the urban one, the mobster one. I think we just run it back like that. There's like a possibility that I can remove a land and put a Crater Maker in instead, but Crater Maker is worse on the draw too, and maybe bring in a relic over a land, but that doesn't make a ton of sense. And then to answer your question, Mystical Pot, post a black-red version in the Discord after stream. The black-red version is just this version without hierarchs. Well, I guess without Grist too. There's an article. This is a keepable hand. There's an article written by a member of the Discord, Polish member of the Discord. So it's on a Polish website. You'll have to use translate, but you'll figure it out. It's well written, and actually he might have written an English version too. I think he did write an English version. It's his second article that I read that was just in Polish. But Cactusawi Smock, Cactus is just what we end up calling them. He wrote an article. That Black Red version is still pretty much the version I would go with, but I would add a Pyre or two, Pyre of Heroes. I'll pull that up right after this, after we finish this, just to keep this this flowing smoothly. So they started on Basic Island. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I was gonna say I don't know if that's because they're afraid of Blood Moon. No, they didn't fetch it. They just have Basic Island. So that's something. If they dash Ragavan here, I'm like kind of kicking myself for not holding up Tarfire Munitions Expert, but it's whatever. Okay, so I think I'm just supposed to reveal... I probably am supposed to reveal nothing, but I'll reveal Sling Gang Lieutenant. I want to be able to play both Tarfire and Fatal Push, because they could play a Dragon's Rage Channeler and then like threaten Delirium and not actually have it yet, and I don't want them to be able to respond to my Tarfire and just fizzle it, basically. You know what I mean? So we're not gonna make the Hovel come into play on tap. And Cavern of Souls, even though well, it wouldn't matter actually, but I was gonna say Cavern of Souls, even though Tarfire is a Goblin technically, it's not castable off of Cavern of Souls mana. So this is what I'm talking about, where they're gonna like threaten a ton of Delirium, and like not even main phase do it. So I have to do this. Surveil is just so much value. They're gonna get it either way, but the longer I leave this in play, the worse it is for me. I guess they kept it on top. Okay. So this is gonna get countered. And then I don't know what's on top, but you know. All right, so there goes. They're probably gonna get Delirium here, but we did get them to. All right, we got super lucky. They got all creatures in that, which is what they put into their graveyard. That we did just effectively kill 2 Dragon's Rage Channelers. Unfortunately, they didn't have to draw the second one. This is my brother's favorite song these days. Okay, so they have 3 cards in hand. We have 3 cards in hand. Unfortunately, their cards are often a lot better than ours. It's how you take care of Murktides? Yeah, just having them mill them by accident. It's the perfect plan. So they are going to look to get Delirium, and we're going to hope that they don't have an instant and that we can kill this before it gets Delirious. We'll see, though. Another Thought Scour would, I wouldn't say wreck us, but it wouldn't be good. Because we could have waited, technically, to play Sling Gang and then almost definitely kill this, but they might just be salting off at the air right now. You're a Ripper. Let's see. Yep, they're letting it resolve. So we've gotten lucky with how things have lined up this game. I will not pretend that this is how things usually go. Why? Like, what is going on that this turns green at some point? Like, is there some algorithm that's not actually looking at the color? Or, oh, I see. It's when this turns green, it actually has a light on it. And like when it's green and blue. Oh, that's so dumb. That's really, really dumb. Every time it turns green, it disappears. You can see the creature type. Oh well. I could change that if I really wanted to. I don't really think it matters, but it's not like you thought I was, I don't know, actually invisible or that my background of my wall is actually this giant screen. So it's, I don't know how much it ruins the illusion, but it is what it is. So I don't like how the eyes get messed up though. Those don't have lights on them, and it doesn't always. It's just because my room is dark, like I said. More fluorescent lights. Okay, so we have two options here. I think it just makes sense to play Sling Gang Lieutenant, and it makes sense to play it first. Well, it doesn't actually matter if you play it first or second. They're likely not playing Unsummon when Innistrad comes out. People are going to be testing that really bad Unsummon. When I say really bad Unsummon, it's like strictly better Unsummon, but you don't play Unsummon. Not a good enough card for Modern, unfortunately. Fortunately, unfortunately, I don't know. So we kind of expected a removal spell, but you know, can't really play around that forever. We still have blockers for a Ragavan. We can't get past the Murktide Regent though. I mean, we can attack past it, but it's not like actually good, and it's an 8/8. It's an 8/8. If I attack and they block a 2/2, gets 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have to offer it. And I'm gonna make the offer look enticing by attacking with the Skirk Prospector as opposed to the Munitions Expert. And they take it, which is definitely a mistake. They're definitely gonna beat me if they don't do this, but we got them. They're probably gonna be pretty mad, but that was their own fault. Yeah, just didn't have to block there. Now, if they have a second Murktide Regent, or even just a Dragon's Rage Channeler, that's pretty bad for us. Although it's still a 1/1? Wow, still a 1/1 is shocking. What is this double blue card? Alright, second Murktide Regent almost definitely kills us. Another Munitions Expert off the top would be okay, but I'll take a Snoop. I don't actually think it matters what I tap here, because I can play Tarfire either way, but I already played Tarfire. Alright, so now our out is, well, I guess this is only a 3/3, so it's not even that fast a clock. Yeah, 3 DRCs and 4 Murktides, but only 1 red source, which is probably annoying them this whole time. And one of the reasons we were able to do, you know, almost anything this game. We're going to get a redraw with Snoop, assuming it survives. There's a Ragavan, so it does survive. Can't really swing out in the face of Ragavan unless it's going to be for lethal. So, all right. Wooded Foothills into Wooded Foothills. Let's shuffle. We care about our life total, so we'll grab a mountain. Another Snoop. Play it. And I guess we can attack for 3, can't we? We could attack for more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe block Snoop. I know that they don't get anything useful off my deck. So, like, at worst, we trade. And I get in for 1, 2, 3. Anyway. And then I could block... I don't need to block Ragavan. I think I'm supposed to attack. Because their creatures are better than mine. So, you know, I have the replacement Snoop in case we draw Boggart Harbinger off the top. So yeah, I think this attack is correct. Because now, if they don't block, they get in for 6. I have 8 on the crackback, so like they kind of have to block. That or they start leaving Murktide Regent back, which is good for us. So yeah, they block here, they trade, get in for 3. We have 5 damage to attack with, which unfortunately is a 3-turn clock, but that's still faster than their clock, and they are top decking. As are we, but we have a lot of redraws and things that sort of just end the game on the spot. And all they've got in that vein is Kozilek's Return, which is like... Well, Kozilek's Return more or less ends the game on the spot, but they also have plenty of redraws with like Expressive Iteration and whatever, so... you know, we're both drawing live here, sort of just in a top deck war. This concert is over with that Lazy River song, but this is our last... it's our last game one way or another, so not going to start a new one. And just play it out in silence. This Twitch VOD, or at least this portion of it, won't be muted. All right, that's a redraw next turn. They know I have this. I don't care if they hit me with Ragavan. I might even block a Ragavan with a Hierarch. At this point, a lot of things kill them off the top. Ringleader for a hasty thing kills them. Harbinger obviously would allow me to combo, assuming they don't have removal. There's Kozilek's Return. All right. That's pretty bad for us. Kozilek's Return means I need to draw, not on this turn, because we know we're drawing this fetch land. Means I need to draw, like, specifically Matron or Ringleader. So we are going to thin the deck, not because I know it's correct, but because I don't remember if I mulliganed at the beginning of the game and put anything on the bottom. And they're dealing damage in chunks of 3 no matter what with Lightning Bolts and Murktide Regents and Dragon's Wraith Channelers, although I am more dead to a dashed Ragavan, but I'm not beating a dashed Ragavan. There it is. And it already doesn't matter because they got it this turn. Which means I have 1 turn to get something. Put myself dead to Bolt by fetching. But I don't have any more... Oh no, I do have a basic Swamp that I can get. Alright, I guess I can see if I need the mana. Relic. Relic is a redraw, but it's way late. Think of how bad Leyline of the Void would have been there, although we would have... Oh, that just pumps up the we were dead no matter what. Doesn't matter that I pumped up the Regent. Like, let's be real about it. Of course we find Harbinger just a turn late. Because I think we had a couple Snoop survive. Not a turn late, a turn or 2 late. Had that Relic been a Harbinger, we can block Ragavan, put something good on top. Like Sling Gang, survive, but didn't make it. So we're going to end with a 3-2. Is the deck good right now? It's very hard to beat blue-red no matter what. Always has been. People are playing Tron and Burn, which are good matchups in general. If you want to be better against Burn, though, than this, yeah, Goblins always feels competitive. You usually have outs. A lot of games come down to like coin flip type scenarios because, like you saw against Tron or Polymorph, I was like mulling really low because I need to find combo early or Blood Moon. But as long as you're willing to do that, that feels like gameplay to you. Deck is super playable, especially at FNM. There's you have 1,000 opportunities to outplay your opponent, even on Magic Online, and that's a cut above FNM as far as competition goes. Um, so I definitely recommend the deck for any foreseeable future tournament. Maybe if you're playing in the challenges, don't go for it. But the Grists felt great still. I'm nowhere near cutting them. The Aether Vials felt like liabilities. Even though they won us one game, they don't slam the door shut anymore because they just can get removed. So, maybe they should be discard spells in interaction or even just more Mogwar Marshals or something like that. I don't know. More Grists, Mogwar Marshals, and Skirks. But we'll see. For people who were um, wanting to see the black-red deck, this is Cactus's list from way back. This is what the black-red version looked like. If I was going to play this now, because Burn was in my meta, this Agadeems would not be in the deck. I would probably just play another Blightstep. No, I would just play another Cavern of Souls. If you're going for, it doesn't really matter what land you choose. But yeah, I would play another Cavern of Souls. I think Chieftains, Pashlik Mons, and War Chief are just like pretty bad in the meta right now. It's hard to keep a board state. So like Chieftain is just, dies to shock when people are playing it. So I would probably play one or two Pyre of Heroes. I might not play Krenko. It depends what's around. I probably wouldn't play Krenko actually. Definitely play 4 Skirks. You might be able to get away with a different mana base and like main deck Blood Moons in this deck. But it's just a safe bet to play something like this right now, or maybe another Tarfire instead of another Mog War Marshal. Gives you a chance to see them in your opening hand. You could also play Furies. There's a lot of ways to build this deck. This is probably not the best sideboard. In fact, you probably want a Crater Maker main as opposed to this Tarfire, just because Tron is around. And I would just go with this, and I wouldn't feel too bad if I wanted to play black-red. You could main deck Thoughtseize. Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. If you're removing vials, you could main deck Thoughtseize with this. I don't have the list anymore, but I had a list here called Goblin Seas for a while. You could also play Bidding if you wanted to be just straight black-red. But I think Hierarch makes that better. But like all you'd have to do to make this Bidding list black-red is, obviously change the lands, and remove these ignobles for something else. This is another option. This is a more modern sideboard, but not necessarily the way to go either. I think the sideboard I just played is decent. I don't think ley lines are really against blue-red, and that's why I was playing Relic to try and maybe get something that keeps us, even on cards while attacking them in a real way. But right now, if you can afford it, and let's be real, the expensive part of this list is not the Stomping Ground. It's the 4 Antis Hovels, the 4 Aether Vials, and the 4 Cavern of Souls. Once you have all that, the rest of it is like, what, 20% of the cost? Maybe more, but this right here accounts for like $300 or $400, right? So that's in paper. So, budget this part out, cut Vial for Inquisition, and pretend you're doing it not for budget reasons because you're smart. And you'll feel fine. Yeah. Maybe because we're playing hierarchs here, you want grists and oh, this doesn't even have the combo in it. What the hell was I even thinking? Doesn't even make sense why there's no combo in this list. I think I did this as a joke. Not a joke, but to prove to people it wasn't good. Um, just like get real evidence. Anyway, this is also another option if you're going Jund. This list, you can see I just have 1,000 goblins lists and then Storm. Um, this is another option if you're going Jund. I don't like 22 lands, but you could find room for the last one. It's probably I don't like. You notice this says Jund Pyre Goblins. Really wouldn't play the double combo list without Pyre in it, so you'd need to find room for Pyre here. Cutting Aether Vial doesn't do that because you're not playing Pyre because of Prismatic Ending and Prismari Command and Polygon's Command and things like that, and Pyre is just as vulnerable to it. So this is what I would play, the New Era deck list. I would love to get the lands a little less painful. I would love to fit a spell land somehow, like maybe Shatter Skull Smashing, but right now, for turn 1 black, turn 1 green, this is as close as I could get. You have 13 green sources that play Ignoble Hierarch, 13 black sources that play Fatal Push or Thoughtseize if you were to play that. And that's like the minimum for making your deck have playable mana. Saw it even screwed us this league. But anyway, that's going to do it for me. I got band practice I got to leave for in 15 minutes. Thank you for joining me. If you're new here, consider following so you could hang out with us next time. If you're watching on YouTube, click the link in the description to come follow and get notifications when we go live so you can hang out in the chat. That is the best part of all this. I love talking to you guys in the chat. Join us on Discord because I enjoy talking to everybody on Discord. I know for people from the Discord, sometimes I rub people the wrong way just because I take in a lot of evidence and I'm opinionated on these types of I mean, most people just use hyperbolic language in Magic, and I suppose I'm not immune. So people think that I'm harsher on the deck than I am. It's not great in the meta right now, right? We need to make it better, but these grists are part of that, I think. And there's more adjustments to be made. In case you want to brew on your own, my current thought process, the way I've been thinking about it, if you want to like catch up to where I am, Elementals is a modern deck that was just worse than us for a long time. Obviously, they got almost every new toy you can imagine in Modern Horizons 2, but to fit that stuff into their deck, they just took out Aether Vials and made the elemental specific synergies just a little bit weaker. And so the only real elemental synergy card they have is their Risen Reef, and then the rest of their cards happen to be elementals. But we're kind of still leaning on a lot of Goblin synergy, and maybe we have to remove that. They also took out Vials. They removed all of the dependence on elemental synergy, and then made it like just kind of an extra because it's really powerful even if you don't do it all in. And then they added things like Ren and 6 to Fairy, Ephemerate. We just need to find our Ren and 6 to Fairy and Ephemerate, and I think I've found at least the Ren and 6 type card in Grist. Just a card that can take over the game on its own. I don't know if Thoughtseize is good enough to replace Aether Vial. That's where we're at right now. That's why we keep playing this. Because there's so many aggressive decks. You probably are just worse than don't play Thoughtseize. But anyway, that's going to do it for me. Have a good night. Like, follow. I'll see you next time. I post in the Discord the days I'm going live. I'm going to try to be streaming a lot more often than last week for sure. I'm getting a new job and I'm going to be taking off some time in between. So I'm going to be streaming a ton, I think, then. Maybe during the day even. So there will at least be YouTube videos going up. Have a good night.